Hey everyone, welcome to another review. Here's my review for the new movie War Dogs. Yes, War Dogs stars Miles Teller and Jonah Hill, and this movie is directed by Todd Phillips, who did those very underwhelming Hangover trilogy movies. And yes, this movie is about a bunch of young 20-year-olds who become arms dealers. Yes, one of them's a massage therapist, but he makes crappy money doing what he does, so he runs into his old friend, played by Jonah Hill, and basically they become arms dealers. They're a bunch of 20-year-olds that become some of the richest, most powerful arms dealers in America, and this movie is based on a true story. And yeah, okay, I'm gonna start off right from the bat for War Dogs. When I saw the trailer, this movie did seem interesting. I thought, oh, this could maybe work. At times it didn't seem like it was executed properly, but I'm like, this movie's either going to suck really bad or it's going to be awesome. But as it turns out, this movie is kind of both. There's a lot of things in this movie, War Dogs, that frickin' works really frickin' well. Then there's just some things that fall flat. And yeah, it's a mixed bag with War Dogs, but all in all, I gotta say, I am glad I saw this movie, War Dogs. I also thought, maybe this could be a new change for director Todd Phillips, because it's kind of like Adam McKay. You know, Adam McKay directed the Anchorman movies, The Other Guys, and stuff. He's a comedic director. But last year when he did The Big Short, it was like this weird, big, dramatic comedy movie, and it was like an Oscar contender, and that was kind of like a game changer for Adam McKay's career. I thought maybe War Dogs could be Todd Phillips's Big Short and stuff, and it's sort of, but not really. I'm glad Todd Phillips did a movie that's different from his unique style, or different from his predictable style, I should say, because he did movies like Old School and Hangover, which are crude comedies, and kind of his shtick. This one is also crude, and it is a comedy, but it's also a dramatic movie. This movie isn't just like a hardcore comedy. There is a lot of dramatic scenes and very dark scenes. Like, the beginning of this movie, I'm like, is this a comedy? Because it's really dark, and honestly, it's very effective. The very beginning of this movie, I'd say the first act of this movie is solid. It's 8 out of 10 solid. I'm like, as soon as when this movie was beginning, it showed me the characters and the story, I'm like, I'm invested with this movie. I thought this movie was going to be awesome because of its first act was so good. It gripped me just right away. The movie was gripping right away, and it was decently directed, and the performances by the two lead characters are really good throughout the whole film. Miles Teller, I'm glad he's done a good movie, because he hasn't done a good movie in a bit and stuff, and he's having a rough go, Miles Teller, because I know he's a good actor. When you see him in Whiplash and The Spectacular Now, you know he has talent, but he keeps doing these stupid comedic movies or the Divergent movies, and I don't know what he's doing, but he was good in this movie, and he had chemistry with Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill is a very funny guy. You saw him in 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up and stuff. This is the end. But when you see him in movies like Moneyball and The Wolf of Wall Street, you know he's a good and very talented actor, and he shows that acting talent in this movie. Yes, he plays a very despicable, very unlikable character, but he does a damn good job. He's a very compellingly douchey character. He's douchey, but he's very compelling as the character. And Jonah Hill stole the movie. He was so good in this movie. Bradley Cooper, I think, also produced the movie. He did a good job, too. He's not very big in it, but he is very good in the movie, and the acting, all in all, is done very well, and the direction at times, especially in the first act, is done very well. Unfortunately, when the movie gets to its second act, it just goes, and then in the last 10 minutes, it goes, but then the movie ends. So, it didn't fully pick itself back up again. If the movie was awesome, then it went down a little bit, but it went back up again, the movie could have been still awesome, but the moment it was going up again, it just ended, because the only, great part is the last, 10 minutes of the movie. The first, 40 minutes is great, and, the last 10 minutes is great. So about half of the movie, half of War Dogs, is absolutely solid. The rest is kind of underwhelming, very clunky, and they try to put these weird comedic scenes and they fall flat. The comedy isn't good, the direction's very sloppy, the story is clunkily done, it's horribly executed, some scenes are just so foamed in, and I didn't get it. The only thing that made me go through the thing that got me through the second act were the good performances by Miles Teller and Jonah Hill, but there was a lot of things going on. I'm like, why is this in the movie? Go back to the awesomeness that was the first act. It was done poorly. The entire second act just fell flat. even parts of the third act. It only picks up again literally in the last 10 minutes, and the movie ends very strong. I like how this movie ends. I love how it begins, and I love how it ends. So there's a great movie in here, and it's just dragged down by its entire second act, and it was very disappointing, that second act. And honestly, the movie is definitely worth a watch, but it's a recommendation, but with a caution. It's good, but you're gonna have to sit through some bad shit to get to the good shit. So the movie's a mixed bag for me. There's a lot of good things. I like the story at times. I like the two lead performances. The comedy is funny at times, but at times, the comedy isn't good. There's some scenes that are really dark, which really work. Then there's some scenes that are too dark and don't work. So it's all over the place. It's a bit of a mess, but I would recommend it because I get what Todd Phillips was doing with this movie, and I appreciate it. He did something different, and this movie was definitely more watchable than some of those stupid hangover movies. And yeah, I can recommend War Dogs, but it's not a great movie, but I can recommend it at least. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give the movie War Dogs a 6.5 out of 10. So yeah, it's good. It could have been great. It really could have, but it just fell flat, especially in its second act. So yeah, that was my review for the movie War Dogs. So in the comment section below, please tell me, what is your favorite Jonah Hill movie? Favorite Jonah Hill movie? My favorite is probably Moneyball, but what is your favorite? Comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to his channel, and join the dark side.